As I said, Markup is a reactive templating system that is all about templates. Markup proposes the idea that everything can be accomplished with templates alone. Templating is about defining how the DOM should look like, as well as all the behaviors around it. To create a template, you can use the HTML tag template literal, which is a native JavaScript concept and not something unique to Markup. I'll add a h1 tag with hello world as content, and what this is creating is an HTML template instance, and we can cache that instance in a variable, let's say temp. And one of the things that this HTML template instance allows us to do is render the template by calling the render method and providing the place in the DOM to render it. So in our case, I'll add it to the app div in our document. Let me remove these other imported APIs, and you can see now that the IDE is showing that temp is an HTML template instance. And this is not to be confused with the HTML template element instance, which is native to HTML. You will learn a lot about HTML template in later videos. For now, all you need to know about is the render method. If I go to the browser, we can see the hello world rendered, and inspecting the DOM, we can see that it rendered the h1 tag inside the app div element as instructed. Now, back to our code, one thing to know about the render method is that it only renders the template once. That means that if I call it multiple times, only the first call will perform the action, and the remainder of calls will be ignored. This becomes obvious if I try to render the template again in a different place within the document. For example, the document body. If I inspect this in the browser, you can see that the h1 tag is still inside the app div. If I intended to move the content from one place to another, I can specify the second argument, which is the force argument, to force it to re-render in a different place. We can now inspect to see that the app div is empty and our h1 tag was appended to the body. That's why it's showing here last. And yeah, render will always perform an append child action. All this is doing is moving everything from one place to another, not necessarily perform all the internal rendering associated actions, which helps with performance a lot. And what this teaches us is that the render method can also be used to move templates from one place to another, which can come in handy so we don't have to perform manual DOM manipulations. Now that you know how to render templates, I'll remove the second render call, and you will learn more about templating in the next video.